We talk a lot about the gun lobby in connection with the Second Amendment, but Mother Jones has a fascinating article about the knife lobby and a lot of the legislation surrounding knives. Now, to give you a little bit of background, about 3 years ago, Congress updated the 1958 Federal Switchblade Act, which had outlawed the importation and interstate trade of any spring-loaded or automatic knives because there was a panic about youthful hoodlums based on a lot of movies, Rebel Without a Cause, The Wild One, etc. So a lot of that was updated. And the bipartisan amendment was signed by President Obama, and it ensured that knives that can be pushed open with one hand, in other words, 80% of the non-kitchen knives sold in America, not be classified as switchblades and therefore are allowed. In other words, if you can open it with one hand, if it's not spring-loaded where it just kind of drops open, then it would be okay. But it's actually pretty complicated, the entire knife thing. Putting aside the gun discussion, a lot of people say, well, the Second Amendment really also should apply to guns, or to knives rather, and those are being pretty restricted. And there's this complicated patchwork of state and local laws. For example, in Arizona, in Phoenix at one point you could carry a concealed pocket knife, but not a dagger. But in nearby Tempe, knives were banned only in bars and liquor stores. And then in Tucson, you could carry any kind of knife, open or concealed, everywhere but libraries, right? It's very confusing and just really ad hoc in many senses.
Yeah, and I wonder what the laws are like regarding things like machetes and swords, which are, or axes, hatchets, wood splitters, whatever.
Many of which are considered antique items.
Antiques, tools, household things. I think if you're walking around town with a ninja sword, it might draw some attention, but people will probably think you just bought that at some gimmicky store.
Well, there's some interesting stuff with that because it actually turns out that some of the knives that were just being sold just being sold regularly at a lot of big box stores, Home Depot, Eastern Mountain Sports, etc. It actually turns out that in New York City, a lot of those were illegal. They were illegal knives to own. And stores had to pay close to $2 million in penalties over this. What's your thought on knives, right? I think that when people make the argument, well, in the same way that guns don't kill people, people kill people, knives don't kill people, people kill people with knives. I do think there's a difference, though, because a knife is far less distant than a gun can be from actually taking someone's life.
If you kill someone with a knife, it's a bit more intimate.
It's a bit more intimate, and I feel like there's less. It's less. Presumably you could take a huge sword and cut somebody in half on a whim, right? But the idea of from across the room, just pulling a trigger and someone's dead, versus really having to actually kill someone with a knife, I find that knives, although still account for a lot of violence, it's a little bit of a different dynamic, don't you think, Natan?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that you can't commit mass murder with knives. You can kill one person. You can have like a targeted killing. You can also kill someone with your bare hands if you're a martial artist.
Sure. Or even if you're not.
The issue that we have and a lot of people have with guns is, 30-round automatics that you can go into a Denver theater and kill a bunch of people.
Sure. The DC sniper is a good example. Terror over an extended period of time, distance killing, you can't even see the person. Knives can be dangerous, but that particular type of crime is going to be way restricted.
Right. I think generally it makes sense to have rule like, no knives in airports, planes, bars, clubs, places where you're serving alcohol. Other than that, I think pretty much anything should go.
Interesting. So, Lewis, very liberal.
Why all these ridiculous laws, all these circumstances and sizes and all? I think
we'll get a lot of feedback on this. Send me your thoughts. Do you agree with Lewis? More liberal knife policy? How do knives compare with a lot of the anti-gun arguments? Send me your thoughts. I'm open to be swayed on this one.
All right.